What's going on, guys? I want to do a reaction to what this lady is talking about. She's spitting straight facts. Just want to talk about how the government or the powers that be needs weak men out here and need better males to tuck their tails and not fight for anything right, not standing for justice. We don't need to be apologizing for doing absolutely nothing. This goes very well with the Kyrie situation, as the Brooklyn Nets had him apologize and gave him 5 mandates to do before he could come back and play basketball for doing completely nothing. These people need weak men. They need the men who don't, who are controlled, who feel like they don't stand up for anything, who actually love money more than they love their dignity. So let's take a listen.
The system needs men to be weak. I told you that the system needs men to be weak because big government can't grow without weak men. You can't have things in place like lockdowns and restrictions and whatever, by the way, stage 2 of all that is going to be, because it's coming. Mark my words, I said it here. You can't do that stuff without weak men, because when you try to do stuff like that, it's...
Let's talk about this real quick. Let's talk about the pandemic, the restrictions that they had when COVID came out, maybe like about 2 years ago. It's been that long. Wow. How they tried to, or they actually did. They didn't make me because I was going outside, but people were staying in the house because they were afraid to come out. I mean, think about that. Like, the government knew better than you, and everybody was taking their word for it. That nobody wanted to, people were standing up. Jobs. I mean, at my job, my government job, they were saying if you didn't have the shop, they were going to fire you. A lot of people who were talking, big tough guy stuff, gave up. They were talking that big man macho stuff, but they ended up getting the shot. And at the end of the day, I stood my ground. I stood my ground because I have morals, and I have stuff that I adhere to. I trust in the Most High. At the end of the day, there's nothing that you can't do, to get someone to sell their soul if they don't want to do anything. So she's speaking facts. If there were strong men, the government wouldn't be able to do what they did. It's like they smell. Once you smell blood, you go in for the kill. So she says it's going to be a part 2. I mean, let's see if that happens. Anything's bound to happen.
By the way, stage 2 of all that is going to be, because it's coming. Mark my words, I said it here. You can't do that stuff without weak men, because when you try to do stuff like that, it's the guys, the strong men, the alpha guys who know how to defend and protect themselves, who aren't afraid to be guys. Those are going to be the people in society that stand up and say, big government, I don't think so. I don't think so. You've gone too far. So they need those guys to be figuratively castrated yesterday. And one of the ways they do that is they make those men feel bad about everything that makes them strong and male, and they make them apologize for it and grovel at the feet of the modern age.
Like I said, the Kyrie thing. I don't know if you guys saw Kyrie apology, but I mean, just the way how he was looking. I mean, the hurt in his heart, the confusion in his eyes, and when he was apologizing, it was sad. It was sad. But if you didn't play that game, you wouldn't have to go through that. That only happens when you play their game. You got to stand for something. If you don't stand for anything, you'll fall for anything. So she's speaking very good points. And the Kyrie Irving situation is a prime example. And in Nick Cannon, people who, I'm not saying these guys are bad guys, but if you got to stand tall for something, especially when you know you did absolutely nothing wrong.
They need those guys to be figuratively castrated yesterday. And one of the ways they do that is they make those men feel bad about everything that makes them strong and male, and they make them apologize for it and grovel at the feet of the modern age Gloria Steinems of the world, because they need them weak.